Hello and welcome everyone. Today I'm going to be reading some of your musical hot takes. I asked you guys on Instagram and you guys responded a lot, so I'm going to be reading some of this stuff. Let's get into it. Wait, no, I lied. Please like and subscribe before we get into the video. That would help me out a bunch because we're almost at 10K and I haven't been making videos like that recently, but this is going to be a banger, man. I could feel it. This first musical hot take is not really music related at all. It's actually by Alexa. And she said, Chick-fil-A sauce with eggs and spinach is good. She's right next to me, and I told her to put on some headphones because I didn't want her to hear me talk at all because I'm very nervous. And this is a pretty disgusting food take. I've seen her create this concoction, and it's utterly disgusting. I don't understand it whatsoever, but you know what? I respect it, and gross is my opinion. All right, let's get into the next one. People don't listen to Nine Inch Nails for the music. They just listen because they're horny for Trent Reznor. You know what, man? I've been quite vocal on how I am not a fan of Nine Inch Nails, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's a bunch of people that only listen to the music for Trent Reznor, you know? Very horny, very disgusting. All right, next up, someone said, Ween is the Beatles, but better. I don't think the Beatles could ever write a beautiful song like Ocean Man, so that's all I really have to say about this. Next one is kind of a banger. Thank you for saying this amazing letterage. Hum is one of the most influential bands of the modern shoegaze era, and I agree. I've said this in so many different videos. I just feel like that overall fuzzy tone is what a lot of bands today try to recreate or try to emulate in some type of way, try to get that influence and put it into their own songs and music in general. I just feel like it's a beautiful sound to want to recreate, and it's not like Hum's the first band to ever create fuzzy like melody riffs and stuff like that. There's a bunch of different bands, obviously, but if we're talking about this modern age era, Hum is got to be at least in the top 5 of influential shoegaze identities, even though Hum isn't really a shoegaze band, but you know what I'm trying to say. They are influential AF, and I will stand by that forever. This next one I find very interesting, and I kind of mess with it. The Last Thing You Forget is Title Fight's best album. Now, I probably don't agree with that take, but I'm not really opposed to it like some other people might be. It is an album where I feel like they threw a bunch of stuff at the wall and they're trying to make stuff stick. And it's just that younger energy and, I don't know, just that angst within everybody in the band that created very, very strong music, very legendary music, honestly. And if you say this is their best album, I'm not going to yell at you and be like, you're wrong. But I wouldn't agree with that take. I feel like as the years went on, you know, they matured and just got better overall as a songwriting team. I don't know, man. I kind of mess with this take. I kind of do. It's interesting. I would still go with their album Shed just because I feel like they have so many bangers on there. It's the perfect mix of throwing stuff at the wall and growing up as a band as a whole, you know, songwriting, instrumentals, everything involved. The angst is there and the emotions are always there within Title Fight, but Shed is the perfect encapsulation of everything Title Fight. So that's what I would go with. But I'm not mad at this take. This next one is very funny. I don't know, not funny, but I just think it's funny, kind of. Quannic ruined shoegaze. And I would not say that Quannic ruined shoegaze. I think that a lot of people think of TikTok shoegaze and think of Quannic. If you've been able to create such a big name for yourself somewhere, that's always a big thing. But I feel like a lot of people just throw that ruined word everywhere because you might not like the music. And I'm not really a big fan of the music, honestly. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't listen to Quannic like that. But I don't think that he ruined shoegaze in general. I think that there's like a different type of phase in the shoegaze timeline, and you can say that Quannic is in that type of TikTok era shoegaze realm, and I don't know, I feel like that's just where that band fits in. I also feel like that type of shoegaze that Quannic has created has made a lot of more people who never really heard of shoegaze want to make music like that. If you've influenced some people, I feel like Quannic has influenced some of the younger generation within shoegaze and like, hey, I want to sound like that. I want to do that. This next hot take is utterly ridiculous. Someone said, Hum is a bit overrated. Please don't kill me. Dude, what are we doing here, man? If anything, literally nobody talks about hum like that. I can't believe someone would type this out and sent it to me, Dumptoes, the hum lover, the hum appreciator. I just don't understand, man. They're underrated. If anything, they're just perfectly rated. I know that last music hot take was kind of grinding my gears. I respect it, though. I'm not mad like that. I think that's a pretty dumb take, but this is the dumbest shit I've ever fucking read in my life. Someone said, most music with less than 1 million plays sounds like shit. Are you fucking stupid? I've literally found bands with less than 10,000 monthly listeners that are freaking dropping bangers left and right. What are we talking about? Next up, someone said, modern shoegaze better than old shoegaze. Big disagree. I understand where you're coming from. This modern shoegaze definitely creates a vibe, but if you look back, literally the 90s, dropping bangers, My Bloody Valentine, Slow Dive, Lush, Ride. What are we talking about, man? Some of the best shoegaze of all time. Some of the shoegaze that will influence bands moving forward for the rest of music history and history in general. I feel like I kind of get it, though, because, you know, as time goes on, you feel like everything evolves, whether it be music, sports, whatever. Things will always get better. But, man, it's just something about the old shoegaze, which was only like 30 years ago or whatever, that stands out and will stand out forever. I got a lot of comments or hot takes saying that Hole is better than Nirvana. As someone who listened to Nirvana and still listens to Nirvana, not as much as I used to, but, you know, back in the day, that was just all I listened to. Inspirational, and the energy's off the charts, obviously, and sometimes it gets depressing, but I don't know, man. I don't agree with this take, but Hole, underrated. I'm not going to say it's close because I don't think it's close, but Hole does have bangers all around, and it's not just screaming all the time, you know what I'm saying? There's some melody in there. Not great singing, but some tolerable singing that I enjoy. The Smiths are overrated, is what someone said. And as someone who doesn't really listen to the Smiths like that, I already know they have like at least 15 all-time bangers. So I don't even know if you would say that that's overrated because there's that many bangers. And there's probably more that I haven't even listened to because I haven't listened to their whole freaking catalog like that. But whenever I'm listening to the Smiths, banger. This one kind of caught me off guard because I don't really talk about this artist, but someone said, I hate Frank Ocean. Honestly, man, I've never gotten into Frank Ocean. Popular as can be. I don't know. I try to get into the music, but there's never been an album where I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. I'm really enthralled and everything with the lyrics and everything, the storytelling. I just never got into it. And I don't know. I'm not mad about not being a fan or anything like that. I just haven't been a fan. You know, it's one of those things where you want to get into it, can't get into it, and you just leave it alone and let other people enjoy it. And that's what I've been doing with Frank Ocean my whole entire life. Now, this one's pretty silly. Sematary, along with All the Drainers, make ass music. Man, there's just something about a feeling that some artists create in Sematary and Drainers, Blade, whatever the hell. Dude, they be creating some tunes that get my body moving, and I'm just like, that's a vibe. Especially Blade and stuff like that, man. During high school, I would just bump that and I'd just be going crazy and like, this is the greatest music I've ever heard in my entire life. Obviously, I don't think that now, but I think there's a time and place for this type of music, and I feel like people should respect these type of rappers because there's a fan base for them for a reason. And if you don't like it, I get it. But they be dropping bangers, I'm not going to lie to you, man. I'm not going to lie. I like this take. Narrowhead is going to be that band people discover 30 years later and love like Hum. I totally see that happening in some type of way. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but I could totally see this happening with a lot of bands, not just Narrowhead, but Narrowhead, yeah, I get it. I understand what you're trying to say. Are they the next Hum? Sure, why not? But I feel like they will strive and go even harder and just get bigger and bigger, and they'll also be undeniable. MCR, Blink-182, suck. I've never really got into MCR, but Blink-182, I don't know, man. They just make very catchy, poppy melodies, and I understand where that can get kind of annoying because it's like, what are we listening to? Why are we singing like this? What are we doing as a society making this very popular? But I don't know, man. That music is very jolly, and I'm very into it. And sometimes the lyrics are very suspect, but Most of the time, the lyrics are very funny and catchy, and a lot of people like it for a reason. And I'm very into Blink-182. I've never really gotten into MCR, and I don't know why that is, because I was of that wanting to listen to that type of music when they were popular, and they just never really grabbed me like other bands did, and Blink-182 being one of them. Last question is utterly disgraceful, just utterly disgraceful. Alex G is not all that. Now, I have a girlfriend that kind of agrees with that take, but it's just something about that melody creating that Alex G composes within literally every album that humans ever created. Bro has so many different songs blow up on TikTok because he is the melody creator, and I'm just a big fan of melodies, you know what I'm saying? There's some Elliott Smith in there, there's some Built to Spill in there, there's just like a mixture of influences that you can hear, and I'm a big fan of that. But I understand why there's so many people that don't like it. There's just people that don't get it, man. That's really what it comes down to, in my opinion. They just don't get it, and that's fine. That's fine. Everybody's different. All right, that's been hot takes, and some of that has been disgraceful, and I can't believe I read that, but I respect it, you know? Sometimes you gotta understand that people are not like you, and I wish more people were like me, because I'm pretty chill and pretty dope. So, that's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like and subscribe. Keep the music alive. Reading these musical hot takes burned my eyes.